over the last like 7.5 months, there really hasn't been any normal. It kind of started all of a sudden in mid-March. And first trying to be like, okay, what do we do here? And so finally getting Zoom figured out and trying to figure out like how do we make Zoom like fun and meaningful? How do we turn this into as positive a thing as it can be? And like, but just slowly finding like ways to connect more meaningfully through the online tools. We actually like found social media was a really positive thing in the spring, using to like give people some like brightness every day. So like I posted like a meme every day on like our youth Instagram accounts. Yeah, and things kept shifting. So we found that like doing like hands-on stuff worked really well. So we would bake together, and so I'd send out the ingredient lists, and then I would do like a little cooking show with them, and we'd all cook in our own kitchens. We would also do crafts where I would put together like craft kits and then have the kids RSVP and then drop those off. And now it's the fall and we're able to meet in person, but it's really different. And so I think it's just like the process of everything just changing again and again. Yeah, there's no real roadmap forward. It's been tough for them. They have missed out on a lot of things that they were looking forward to. So like when this first hit in the spring, like first some of the grade 8s lost their grad trips. A lot of kids lost graduation. They lost holidays with their families. So at first for them, I think this was an experience of just like loss again and again and again and again, compounded by like how absolutely frightening the situation was. The first few months were really rough for everybody. But as things continue to go on, like they started to learn like some really great coping skills. Some of them have still gotten their first jobs during this. A bunch of them have gotten their driver's licenses. One of my 16-year-olds actually just bought his first car. Like when I met him, that was his life goal, was to buy a car when he turned 16, and he's done it. And so like, I think for them, it's more a story of like learning to like not only survive, but also find ways to thrive in the middle of all the chaos. I would say that with moving forward, part of the problem is that we're stuck in a situation where like things are still changing a lot. Practically, some of the problems are like, it is getting really cold, so now we're like stocking up on blankets to troubleshoot that. But we're also looking at questions of like safely gathering indoors and what would that look like. And then questions of like, do you feel comfortable? Should we go back to Zoom? So just the fact that that's like a constant decision-making process, and also realizing that like within the current context, not everything we try works for every single youth. Every week in Sunday school, we start by just going around and just like sharing with each other where we've seen God. I invite them to just share something like good from their life, trusting that every good and perfect gift comes from our Father above. Hearing how many of them were finding like God's presence and joy in nature and in the world around them, and in like the flowers as they slowly opened and the trees as they slowly came into bloom, how they were able to find hope in the world around them as it slowly came to life. It is really easy to get kind of down in this whole process, and just feel like, okay, like these events are really awful. Or like, I don't know how to respond to this challenge. As long as you're trying, I think that that's enough, because I think ultimately all that matters is that like we're still just finding ways to be a community with each other.